Hello, my lady. How are you today? Let's step over into the quantum field together. Take my hand. 1, 2, 3, step. Here we are. How does it look to you today? For me, it looks really watery because the water is my anointing. It's my baptism. I have a question for you. Do you have a crystalline aura? When I was much younger than I am now, maybe 30 years ago, I got a reading from a very interesting woman that my business partner sent me to because I was the ultimate reluctant psychic. And my business partner was a little bit older than me, to like the tune of an older sister, not too much, but like a good 7 or 8 years. And she had a client that was very interested in my gifts, but she never got a reading from me yet. And I never got to talk to her about this lady that she sent me to. But I traveled up to Santa Barbara, California, and I saw a lady who I had to wait a little while to get in with, and I paid her more than I ever paid anyone for a reading. I guess she was very famous. So I wasn't really in that world, and I didn't know how much people charged or who was famous, or I was just wanting to know some things about my love life. So I went and I started the reading with her, and she started to look in my eyes. And while she was looking in my eyes, I noticed a book that I had read in massage school. And so I thought, and I saw her name on the back, and the lady said, I wrote that book. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my first ones, one of my most powerful. And so we just stayed quiet. She read my eyes for about 55 minutes of my hour session. I was thinking, you gotta be kidding me. So I finally interrupted her, and I said, are you going to give me a reading, or are we just going to stay silent? She said, I guess I only have 5 minutes left. She didn't give me any longer. Can you believe it? So important to honor the people who seek us out. But it's okay, because it was meant to be exactly how it was, even though it left me a very frustrated young woman. She told me at the very end, she said, I've never seen somebody with as many past lives as yours. And I've read thousands and thousands of people. Also, I've never seen so many brutal lifetimes. And I thought, I don't know if I believe in past lives, but it really feels like that is true to me, because I had a heaviness in my heart my whole life and a fear of death my whole life. So the important thing that she told me was this. She said, you have a crystalline aura. And I was told, and she pointed back at the book, she said, it's interesting that you are very fond of that book, because I was told that somebody would come to me with a crystalline aura, and that would be like the beginning of ascension. And here you are. She said, you don't have colors in your aura, you have a crystalline aura. So your aura is like crystal and refracts all the colors of the spectrum to me. And I thought, what do I do about my question? I was so naive. No matter what would have happened, I don't know if I would remember the woes and worries of my love life at this point. I'm not even really sure. I mean, I have a hint of what I might have been going through. But what I did need to know was something that didn't mean anything to me at the time, which was that I had a crystalline aura. And that my aura was different. And that it wasn't important that I knew that my aura was different. It's important now. It's important now as I look back on that time and knowing that she said that when the person with the crystalline aura would arrive, she would know that it was the beginning of a time when all of our auras would be prepared to elevate into that frequency. So, do you feel like you've come to have a crystal aura? Do you feel like you're readying yourself to be fully integrated and still be human? Do you feel that you can start to let go of some of the things that seem really important, but it's more important rather than knowing what you think you need to know, or rather than doing what you think you need to do, to actually be so open to Divine Source Creator that you surrender your life to be utilized for the greater good of humanity, to bring humanity forward into the greatest time, space, continuum, frequency that we have ever had the opportunity of being in, which is our collective consciousness, letting go of this polarized nature of good and evil, and really tuning into Divine Source Creator's energy and integrating in something that we haven't done a lot of talking about, but Sean and I have downloaded on it a lot, is what I call the Divine Diamond Source Plasma. And it is a fractal of spectral light that has a metallic platinum and gold ray sheen to it. It is the frequency of our light body. And so if we start speaking and exploring and becoming what we are truly, which is connected without reservation, without shadow, to Divine Source Creator, then something really powerful starts to happen. Your life becomes your purpose that is aligned to the God essence of what you were created in as perfect. And if that becomes your focus, there's an acceptance that you're worthy of becoming all that you were meant to become in this life, which is probably more because of the intensity of being a human in this realm, with the coming of great changes to Earth. Truly, things are going to be different, and dimensionally they're going to be different in the not too long, far away future. God doesn't want us wrapped up in the timeline of that. But as things shift, you want to be in such a state of alignment and forgiveness to any trespasses that have been made against you, and forgiveness to yourself for any of your own trespasses. That you literally become the frequency of love. And that can only happen if you are completely self-accountable for what is yours to face in this life about your own iniquities, which is a form of the word sin, but it sort of sounds like a mean word or a harsh word, and I don't want it to sound religiously harsh. But what is ours to soul correct is a good way of saying, what is your soul correction? Become aware of them and breathe them into forgiveness in your body. what will happen is you're lifting your frequency. You know, light and color have frequency. So as you accept who you are, you begin to integrate a spectral light within you that is so magnificent. Know that that is truly what we're doing. And even if you are just in a mindset that you just want to create the life, the best life possible, this is still the map. This is still the way. So as you start to move forward, as we dive deeper and deeper at the well, I don't know if you've noticed it, but this month, boy, has heaven upped the ante on us on frequency. I keep downloading for you, and I literally sometimes, I black out. It's like I go somewhere else. And I've been worried a few times that that's still recording. And I have to check and make sure sometimes or start over because I'm going to these places. And mostly it happens when I re-listen to it. I'm really time-space traveling. We're doing very important work here. And it's the work that is going to help you. It's the work that's going to help you to create the highest timeline for your life. And you know, you hear that from me a lot. Highest timeline, best possible timeline, more than you know to ask for. Let that be the sound in your head. Because if you can live in that place, you're going to live with that intention. And if you can live in that intention, you are going to manifest a different kind of life, a better life, a more high vibrational life, a more spectral life, an aura that has all the colors of the rainbow in its crystalline platinum and gold ray. You got this. We're beginning for some. We're continuing for others. And we're really deep diving for all of us. I love you. I'm glad you're here. And I know we're a little small group of souls that are ready for this. But isn't it amazing that you're one of them? I know. I'll see you in the well tomorrow.